Wow! What's happening, everybody? That's right, we back. It's Monday. Welcome to Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I am here, your host, and today today we have one that I'm coming for your neck. I am absolutely coming for your neck because this is something over the last few, days or weeks, I have been listening to people and I've been noticing something that I want to address in a good way, in a positive way. The title today is simple: reclaiming yourself. Yeah! Today is about reclaiming yourself. For those that's coming in for the very first time or the second time, thank you so much for logging into Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. Thank you. For those that have been rocking with us for a long time, thank you for your support. Thank you for listening with me. Thank you for loving on me. Thank you for just being a part of the podcast and a part of the family. I truly appreciate it. I really, really do. And I just want to say hello to everybody that's logging in from all over the world. Welcome. Hello. How you guys doing? All of that good stuff. But I got work to do. I don't want this to be long. I don't want this to be long at all. But I want to get right into it because I've been listening to people and I've been hearing their hurt. Even though they're trying to mask it, I've been literally listening to them and I've been hearing their hurt. And as I began to converse with more and more people, I'm really beginning to hear it's a hurt that someone hurt them in the past. Whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a parent, whether it's a spouse, it was something that had hurt them in the past and it just really crushed them. So today I want to actually dive into that and really talk about reclaiming yourself, the purity of you. So think about this. The greatest heartbreak isn't that someone left. You know, sometimes we have heartbreak with, unfortunately, we losing a parent or we losing a child or something like that. We get it. And I know that's painful, but that isn't the greatest, if you will. That's just not. Here is the part what I believe is the greatest of the heartbreak is when they leave. And in whatever way that is, they take your ability to trust with them. Because see, when my dad died, man, I had to have some conversations with God himself because I could not understand why he recalled my dad. And I get it, I understand it intellectually, but at that time I was absolutely brutally devastated because he took my dad, right? I know better place, yep, I know all of that. Couldn't understand it. Or what about you losing a spouse, or you get a divorce, or you're split up, right? Regardless of what, and y'all may hate each other or dislike each other, and y'all know it's for the best, but it's still a separation. And sometimes, boy, that creates some pain inside of you that you cannot literally, what would I call it? Can't get over, right? So today, as we're talking about reclaiming ourselves, what if a person who broke your heart didn't just leave your life? They changed the way you see love. Because I want you guys to think about that, right? Let me say that again. What if a person who broke your heart didn't just leave your life? They change the way you see love. It kind of rocks you, right? They just rock you. What if every relationship after them, listen to this, has to pay for what they did? Yeah, raise your hand if you've held some people accountable for something somebody else did. Yeah, I know it may not be happy, but let's keep it honest today. Let's keep it a buck. See, sometimes we take and snap on people that are closest to us when they didn't do anything, but it was something somebody else did. So what if in every relationship after they left you, Other people are paying for what they did. Yeah, we got to address that today. We got to address that today. Because if not, we're still carrying anger and pain forward. And that's not how we're supposed to live. So did they break your heart, or did they break our belief? Think about that. Did they actually break our heart, or did they break our belief? Because those two are absolutely different. Those are just different things. This isn't about getting over someone. It's about getting ourselves back. Yeah. See, pain, heartbreak, all of however you want to articulate it, when we are going through that, we stop trusting, we stop believing, we stop listening, because now we're in this super protective mode. Let me share this, right? There are some times when I'm around certain people, or friends, relationships, cousins, aunts, or whatever, and someone has been hurt. One of the things I always talk about is, listen, you got to bring your walls down in order for someone to come in to love you. And a lot of times people be like, I don't know if I could do that. Not because they don't want to, but because they know what that pain was before. See, it takes a lot to bring walls down. It does. Now, when you are fortunate enough to help that man or that woman bring those walls down, then you see a totally different person, right? Because we began to put on fixtures and we began to do things within ourselves to help the pain, because we don't want nobody to touch our heart the way that one did. We don't. When I stopped playing baseball, I got hurt and I had to stop playing baseball and all that. Man, that pain was absolutely brutal. The first love. I mean, pure love. I love the game. My best friend always mess with me talking about, boy, you watch the grass grow. I sure do. I watch how they install the baseball grass or the turf. I watch how they rake the grass. I watch how they edge it. I watch how they meticulously go through every part of the actual baseball field. How they paint the lines, how they do the batter's box, how they repack the pitcher's mound, all of that. Yes. Because of the love I have with baseball. If you could take away baseball, put a woman there, put a man there. It's the same thing. That pain, you don't want to, because now you got these walls up, and I don't want to coach. Well, I don't want to coach, but that's another. I don't want to coach because some of these parents and these kids now, they couldn't. I wouldn't have a team. They'd probably kick me out the league. But anyway, when you have that pain and you got to bring those walls down, that takes time, right? That takes care. But also you got to be willing to want to do it. You have to be willing that you want to actually bring those walls down. And sometimes we don't bring them down for years, for decades. But boy, when you bring it down, it's a release. Listen to me. It is a release of freedom, of weight that just dissipates. And it is absolutely glorious to feel that level of peace. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not talking to you guys from a standpoint I've never been through this. I'm telling you from what I know. This is what I've been through. So when you talk about reclaiming yourself, there's going to be some things that we have to go to. But let me walk through this thing, because I don't want this one to be long. Because I want us to think about this. And you got to really get into this one deep within yourself. Not for your neighbor, not even for your mentor. But this one, you got to get deep within yourself. You have to be honest today with you to make this walk. You have to be honest with you to walk through this pain to get to the other side. Yes, you have to. So let's do this. Number one, if you got something, you can write this down, but I want you to really focus in on this one. The lies we tell ourselves. Now, y'all know we are the greatest liars to ourselves to protect our pain, right? We don't want to go through that pain. We want to go through and make sure we don't have that heart. After heartbreak, we don't stop believing love exists. We don't stop that. Well, we stop believing it's safe for us. We literally stop saying, is it really safe? Is it really safe for me to open all the way up? Because that person did this, that, or thus. Or I lost the love of the game because I can't play it anymore. I can go on and on and on. But we have to stop believing. We literally have to stop believing. We have to stop believing it is not safe for us. We have to stop believing that. Now, granted, I'm not saying get in one relationship and jump into another one, right? Because you have to heal. You must heal. But we have to give ourselves not only time to heal, but then also be able to open up earnestly and be true and real to ourselves, right? The pain doesn't just affect our emotions. Listen. It changes our expectations. Woo! Yes, sir. Write that down. The pain doesn't just affect our emotions. It changes our expectations. We begin to assume, listen to this. Y'all know what they say about assuming, right? We begin to assume that what happened once will happen again. Now, I'm a firm believer in life and death is in the power of the tongue. And if we continue to believe it's going to happen again, we're prophetically speaking out our mouth that, oh, this is going to happen again. And what happens? Because you have that power, you are now making everything line up for it to happen again. Yeah. Now, let me add this part into it. Yeah, this I don't know, this is getting good. Add this part into it. Not only was saying that it be happening again, but then we stop listening to God himself. So we are saying it's going to happen again, and we're not going to listen to God. And what happens again? Yep, right on back on cue. We attract that same energy right on back to us, and it happens again. Yep, it happens again. Think about it. Go into your mind right now, because some of y'all already thinking about like, yeah, that is. Think about it. Don't deny it, because it's just you and I talking. It's you. You have to go into it. Without realizing it, we make permanent decisions based on temporary pain. Ding, 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 ring the bell. We cannot make a permanent decision based on temporary pain. We can't. Now we have spoken into existence. We stop believing God, and we're making decisions based on something temporary. Even the rain passes away. You can have a tremendous, listen, in New Orleans, they had Hurricane Katrina in 2005, right? And even after the hurricane passed, as bad as it was, the hurricane did pass. Regardless of how, yeah, we understand these things happen, all of those things, but the hurricane did pass. See, regardless of how we look at it, we cannot make those determinations based on something that has happened temporarily. I remember I was dating this girl and this young lady, I don't want to call somebody a girl, when I was at Southern, and we broke up, and I was all devastated. I was talking to one of my friends, and one of my friends literally actually picked up the phone and called my dad and said, Stanley just having a bad time because he broke up with his girlfriend. So my dad called me and was like, you okay? I was like, yeah, what's going on? He was like, well, such and such, I don't want to give people names, called and said that, you broke up with that person, don't want to give her name either, and that you were having a bad time. I was like, I broke up, but it's not like I'm about to go jump off a cliff or something. I was like, yeah, I'm having a bad moment, but I'm not going to jump off of a cliff, because it was just temporary. It was just temporary. But I had to also realize what kind of energy I was giving off if somebody felt that startled that they had to actually call my dad. So, yep, that's what we did. But I had to literally pick that up because I didn't want to make a permanent decision in temporary pain, right? I've made permanent decisions in temporary pain. And yeah, it just wasn't good. It just was not good. The results were not good. right? So we have to be careful with that. One disappointment becomes nobody is faithful. How many Instagram posts, how many TikToks you see that people are talking about men are not faithful, women are not faithful, men ain't worth the blink, women ain't worth the blink, da 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 da. Because a lot of people are making permanent decisions in temporary pain. A lot of times I tell people when we're talking about relationships with people I've been blessed to mentor, I start asking, well, what did you do? Because all of a sudden that person didn't just wake up and say this. So what did you do, right? And a lot of times it goes back to what we said at the beginning. It goes all the way back to what we said at the beginning. So if you're looking and we start making decisions and we start saying we stop believing it's safe for us, we putting these walls up and we putting these walls up, and now we putting these walls up and somebody can't love us the way we want to love because we have walls up and it's based on what somebody else did that they're no longer even in the picture. Imagine if the young lady I dated when I was in high school, one of the young ladies I dated in high school, and I'm still holding somebody at 30 or 40 years old, I'm still holding them accountable for what somebody did at high school. Now, come on now. That just don't make sense, right? But that's what we do. That's what we do. One betrayal becomes, I can never trust again. And boy, I got people that they stand on that. One betrayal becomes, I can never do it again. Or they change the way they do things. They change their expectations. And now they start saying, from a female standpoint, oh, he gonna pay for me to go to dinner. Oh, he gonna pay for me to see. He need to pay for this. He need to pay for that. That's one side. Then you got men saying, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make sure she do this for me, and she gonna do that for me, and she gonna serve me negatively. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So here's the truth. One person's character is not a reflection of the entire human race. One person's character is not a reflection of the entire human race. Don't let one person's action write the story of your future. Just because somebody messed up, I'm gonna say it in my baseball. I love baseball. Y'all know that. And the pain was great, yes. But that can't write the story of my future. It can. It can. All right, let me do number 2. Your brain isn't broken. It's not. It's not. Stop fascinating about how God designed us. So, a lot of times we begin fascinating on how God designed us and how he's going to do this and how he's going to do that. When you've been hurt deeply, your brain goes into protection mode. We just talked about that. It starts looking for danger before looks for love. See, it reverses it. It starts looking for instead of looking for love, it's looking for danger. Well, let me say this. How many times have we put walls up and somebody just genuinely wanted to help? And we got these walls up and they got an attitude and they meet like, wait, hold on, pump your brakes. Why are you coming at me? I saw this AI story, right? I was looking at this AI story. Y'all don't judge me. I like them. And I'm looking at this AI story. One of the things in saying in this is the young lady, every time she saw this guy, she continued to snap at him, snap at him, snap at him, snap at him. And the guy was like, I gave you a compliment, and she kept snapping. In that same thing, how many of us out there have literally did the same thing? Snap, snap, and all the guy or all the lady was doing was just saying hello. And we just went off the deep end. Wife walked into the door, husband walked into the door, they say hello, and then it went off. Why you didn't put the garbage out? Why you haven't cooked? Wait, hold on, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. What's wrong? Right? That's why you overthink. That's why you overthink. That is why you overthink. When you've been hurt deeply, your brain goes into protection mode. That's why you overthink. That's why you question people's motives. See, we have this somewhere I read in the Bible, it said, try your spirit by your spirit. Well, we get all the way out of that because we don't listen to God anymore in this particular setting, right? The pain overtakes God, so we stop listening, we stop being authentic, all of those things. And then we start questioning everybody's motives. Soon as they walk in the door, why are you here? I just walked in the door. Can I get something to eat? Right? I mean, it's all the time. It's all the time. I've heard different ladies would share with me. They'll start talking, and later on in the conversation, they'll be like, I really thought you were just here to just have sex. Or I really thought you were just here to get this from me. Or I really thought you were here to get that from me. No, I'm not here for none of that. I said hello and genuinely was conversing with them. And then they realized, oh, you're not here for nothing negative. Flip the switch, family. Let's stop overthinking and thinking people's motives are all crazy. Now, if you get this weird feeling, okay, that's something different. But everybody is not out to get you, right? That's why sometimes pull away from someone who actually treating you well. That's why we do it. Sometimes we just pull away from people that's actually treating us well because it becomes unfamiliar. Yes, sir. It's unfamiliar when somebody treats us great. That becomes unfamiliar. Well, why is it unfamiliar? Because we were expecting something negative. We were expecting some type of catastrophe. We were expecting the negative side and not being right in there and allowing that person to share with us, yes, sir, the good stuff. We prayed for it, we wished for it, we hoped for it. It shows up at your doorstep and you run. How many of us have done that? We literally connected. We literally were together. We literally stood in there and had an amazing time. And as soon as we get home, the middle of the night, your mind starts twirling and thinking, oh, they out to get you. Oh, they're going to do this. Oh, they're going to do that. And we walk away from something great because we're being negative within ourselves. That pain is still there. So we are holding that individual accountable for something that happened days, weeks, months, years, decades ago. But we're holding that young man or that young lady accountable. Imagine that. Why are we doing that? We have to stop. Your heart isn't broken beyond repair. Keep that in mind. It's not broken beyond repair. So I don't want us to think that we're having this conversation and we're conversing about this and the heart is just beyond repair. It's not. It's the easy way of saying it is just trying to protect itself. That's it. The problem is that protection becomes unhealthy when it never learns it's safe to open again. The problem is that protection becomes unhealthy when it learns it's not it's safe to open again. It's never. Let me read that again. The problem is that I'm reading my own handwriting and it's all bad. The problem is that protection becomes unhealthy when it never learns it's safe to open again. Think about that. If it never learns it's open to love again, it's still going to create these unhealthy relationships, these unhealthy things in our lives. So we got to move past that. Number 3, here's the thought that changes everything. I want you to really think about this. Listen. Really think about this. One person's inability to love you well doesn't mean you're difficult to love. Because one of the things I would do is say, what did I do? And it's my fault. And I start torturing my own self. It's me. It's me. I don't know why. It's me. It's me. It's this. It's that. No, stop. Stop. Just because that person don't have the ability to love you the way you want to be loved, that doesn't mean you're difficult to love. That wasn't your person. That's it. That's it. It just simply means they weren't capable of giving you what you deserve. And you deserve the best. Your person is your person. I was going to say, your rib is your rib, not somebody else. Stop confusing rejection with your value. Let me say that again. Ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Stop confusing rejection with your value. Stop confusing rejection with your value. Everybody is not for you. Let me just give you that, just because it's you. Everybody is not for you. Everybody is not for you. You're not going to get along with everybody. Sometimes God allows someone to leave because they were never assigned to stay. When God allows somebody to leave or he prunes them from your life, it's because they can't go where you're going. Their assignment is up. So stop confusing rejection with your value. Stop it. Your worth has never been determined by someone else's decision to walk away. Man, this is good. Your worth has never been determined by someone else's decision to walk away. It's never been that. But we start to self-torture ourselves and say all of these negative things about us, and now it continues to now attract negative environment or negative people to come around you to consistently do the same thing. Is because that's what we are attracting. Let me just keep that 100. Y'all may not want to hear this, but this is so enlightening. This is so good because now we have the ability to heal. Now we have the ability to reclaim ourselves. Number 4, trust isn't given, it's built. Trust isn't given, it's built. Number 4, trust isn't given, it's built. A lot of times people will say, I just don't trust anymore. I don't trust anyone. I just don't trust. Why? What's all of that? Why? Why? Here's what I think a deeper truth is. I don't trust myself anymore. Ooh-wee. When you don't trust yourself anymore, you have lost yourself because you have given all of your power to the pain of what happened days, weeks, months, years, decades ago. And now you're saying, I don't trust myself anymore. You know, a lot of times, and I have to slow this down because I can feel myself getting excited. When we go through heartbreak, how many of us, by a show of hands, literally go back over and over and over and over with the conversations that we had with that individual? I mean, over and over and over and over. Yeah. We start wondering why we ignored the red flags and why this happened and why that happened. Matter of fact, when baseball, when Coach Kadar, God rest his soul, told me to go check my nose out, it was kind of swollen, and I was thinking, man, why did I go get my nose checked? Well, you know, I'm thinking, I thought about that profusely. Why? Because it was the right thing to do, fool. You had to go get it checked, and thank God I went and got it checked. But in that moment, the pain was so great, I kept going over and over and over and over. Why this? Why that? Playing all of these conversations. We wonder why we ignored the red flags. We wonder why we did this and why we didn't do that. We didn't even start questioning ourselves. Why? Real healing isn't just trusting another person again. Real healing isn't just trusting another person again. It's rebuilding confidence in yourself, in myself, and knowing that if someone isn't healthy, you'll recognize it sooner. See, sometimes we go through these things and give us the wisdom because you see those flags now, you're going to be like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. And guess what? It's going to give you this courage to walk away, because you're going to know, hey, if I keep walking down this path, I know the end to this game. Yeah, we're not going to do this. And he's going to give you that courage, that strength to just say, you know what, let me go in a different direction. That's what it's going to do, right? Number 5. Where does the Creator fit into all of this? I think the person say, where does God fit in, to make it easy for that? Yeah, I got all of this notes. So think about this. Here's where faith changes everything, because people are human, right? They make promises they can't keep. God never has. People will give you and promise you everything that they can't even give you, but God never has. Sometimes we place expectations on people that only God was meant to carry. Sometimes we put expectations on people that only God was meant to carry. When people fail us, we start questioning love, life, and sometimes even God. I know I did. Now y'all can sit up there and lie to yourself. I know I did. God, how in the world you gonna take baseball away from me? Now, what did I do that bad that you just took baseball away from me? I stopped believing. I don't say stop believing, but I stopped just thinking everything was God, and I started questioning Him. I was upset. Yeah, all of that. I started wilding out, doing stuff I ain't never done before, drinking some more. All of that, right? Because I was just questioning God. Like, wait a minute, I love baseball. You can put a lady there or man there, it doesn't matter. And you start questioning God. But maybe God wasn't taking love away from you. Just think about that. Perhaps He wasn't taking love away from you. Maybe He was removing what was standing between you and the life He has prepared for you. Ooh. The reason I say ooh on that one is because we want to use God as as someone that we could just pick up and say, go do this. It's like I forgot what they call him, a concierge. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. And He only shows up when you need something. No, it doesn't work that way. But a lot of times that's what we do. If we have the life that He's prepared for us, we're going to have joy. As I say, joy, unspeakable joy. I mean, it's going to be absolutely amazing. Closed doors doesn't always mean rejection. It could be moving you into a different direction, right? I'll be honest with you, we need to thank God for closed doors, because sometimes He's moving us in places where we wasn't really prepared to go, right? And if we kept going through that door, it was going to be a bad thing. And sometimes it's just straight up protection. He moved him out of your life because He knew later on he was going to turn violent. He moved her out of your life because later on He knew she was going to turn violent, or whatever it may be. He moved them. That's protection. That's love. That's love, right? The last one, number 6. A different definition of trust. Number 6, a different definition of trust. Maybe Maybe trust doesn't mean believing someone will never hurt you. Maybe trust means believing that even if life hurts again, God is faithful enough to heal you again. That takes trust in God. That takes belief in God. That takes knowing in God. And when you do those things, that's freedom. Yeah. That's freedom. Because now your peace isn't based on someone else's choices. Yes. That's where your peace comes. That's the freedom that we're talking about. It's all based on God's promises that He has for us. When your foundation is God, people can disappoint you without destroying you. Oh, there's a lot of people that's disappointing to me, but they can't destroy this peace that's in me. We didn't been down that road, as we like to say. The devil should have got me when he had a chance, but it's too late now. No. You should have got me when you had a chance, but you didn't. Now it's too late, because I stand strong in God. Yeah, do we make mistakes? Absolutely. Will you make mistakes? Absolutely. Will somebody else try to hurt you? Absolutely. It just goes without saying. But when you have your faith and your trust in Him, referring to God, then He can heal you again. So when you release all of I have to do everything and release it to God, there's going to be a freedom and a peace that's going to hit your life that you're going to be like, why haven't I done this before? Because now God is responsible for taking care of you. And boy, when you let that go, you know how much weight you drop just when you just know that God has you. Oh, it's yeah, it's gonna be real good. I'm telling you from experience. When you let it go, when I started to literally heal from a lot of pain, and I started to allow things to go, I started to allow and release pain, and I started to release anger, and I started to release frustration and being angry with people and holding people accountable from a negative standpoint and telling people within me all of these negative things. And when I start releasing that, boy, that joy start coming, that smile start coming back. Boy, it start, my best friend told me we were doing something and he saw a picture of me for Easter. He said, boy, I could see the joy coming off the page. Yes, because it's inside of me. You can't take this joy from me. Yeah, will I be disappointed in things? Absolutely. Will I go through things? Absolutely. But the joy that's inside of me, you cannot take it away from me. So, in closing, I say the same thing to you. Don't allow anyone to take your God-given joy from you. Release all of the other stuff and let God be the ruler and the head of your life. That's it. It's that simple. Let me challenge you. Don't let one chapter convince you that the entire book is over. Yeah. Don't let one chapter convince you that the entire book is over. Don't allow one person's betrayal to become your identity. Don't make your future pay for your past. This is getting good. Love again, smile again, dream again, trust again. Do all of those things again. Not because everyone deserves your trust, but because your heart deserves another opportunity to experience what God intends love to be. Boy, that's so good, right? I think I'm gonna go listen to this again. Remember, broken things doesn't stay broken in God's hand. That's right. It doesn't stay broken in God's hand. Sometimes He doesn't just heal your heart. He gives you wisdom, discernment, peace, and a strong faith than you had before. When He gives you these stronger faiths and this stronger peace and the discernment and wisdom that you had before, that means you've grown. That means that wisdom starts seeking and falling off of you. That's what it is. Whoo! This is good. The opposite of heartbreak isn't another relationship. It's wholeness. The opposite of heartbreak isn't another relationship. It's wholeness. Because when you're whole, you stop looking for someone to complete you. Woo! When you're whole, you don't have to have somebody else there to complete you. You already have it. You already have it. Instead, you become the kind of person who can build something healthy with someone who also is whole. So when you're whole, you can build something with somebody else's whole, and it just happens. And that's where love begins. That's where the lasting love begins, because you have built something with somebody that's whole again. Man, this was good. I may have to do a part 2 on this, because I'm just loving this. Well, I hope, family, you got something out of this. Let me just say that. I hope that you got something out of this. I love you guys. We're going to close out right here, and I can't wait to see y'all next week. So let's go ahead on and, as he said, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Remember, reclaim yourself. Restore yourself. Believe in the Creator and allow Him to mend you, fix you, mold you back together better than you were before. Obtain and receive that wisdom, that discernment, that belief, that trust, that faith, all of it again, and allow Him to download it into you. So listen, family, I love you guys. I will see you guys on the beaches of the world. God bless. And this is going to conclude our podcast for today. I'll see y'all next week on Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I'm out. Peace.